if you're an Amico fan, there's going to be some things that I'm going to say that you might not like, right? So trigger warning right there. If you're an Amico detractor, there's some things that I'm going to say that you are not going to like. So trigger warning right there. And if you're a game hoarder, there's some things that I'm going to say that you're going to love.
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There is no Patreon, no super chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them. Collect them. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Wow, so much to talk about. And they keep on saying, right, there isn't anything to talk about. There's always something to talk about, right? And nothing proves it more than these last few days. I was going to put out another video, but after I rendered it and I saw a couple of duplicate things, and I didn't put it out, and good, because more things had happened that I can actually contribute to that video, the what if video. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to add those to that and put it out this weekend. But first I wanted to give my reactions to the whole new presentation that did in Utah, because there's a couple of things that I saw that I like. Look at that clean tee. Van Halen, baby. One of my favorite bands. Yes, so finally we saw a better setup, right? I'm glad they listened to the criticism. There's something to constructive criticism, guys. That they should have had a better setup from the beginning, but now the setup they had, it's not the best, but it's a great improvement from what they had. It looks like they have a graphite finished table. It looks like a professional looking mounting on there. It was a lot better than I expected. I thought I was going to see the tables again, which drives me nuts, because it gives a very, very poor presentation. People coming in, you want to see something good. We got it. It looks, hopefully they will put something like that in retail stores in the future so people can enjoy it. We had a couple of things happen there. There was some of the same games, some of the same gameplays, and of course, this is really for, commercial purposes. These are going to be videos for investors to see. Some of the same games were played. There was a little bit of controversy. And again, guys, I said this to you, what is it, months ago now? But here it is again, right? I can't emphasize the importance of QC.
Months ago when I made the observation and said somebody should be fired because of this, it wasn't to be mean or to, do anything like that, cause distress, but to stop distress in the future like this. This is a terrible time for this to be happening to you, for not being organized with QC. How little would it have taken to check these consoles out before putting them out and not embarrass yourself in public like this, knowing that you have hundreds and hundreds of people looking at you to criticize you for any little mistake. At this point of the game, when you don't have any product out there for customers to sample, PR is your greatest asset, and you're blowing it because of poor business practices. This is sloppy work. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you guys. And this is just sloppy work that should not be happening at this stage of the game, especially with this many eyes and knowing that you're going to get blown up for any little mistake that you make. It's just not a good look, and it's something that should have been taken care of a long time ago. But the QC problems, as of right now, still persist, and this is not a good look for the company.
But yes, these are the kind of things that you can learn from, right? It doesn't matter what your company puts out. It has to be to a certain standard of quality, even if it's a demo. Even if it's a demo, okay? It needs to be double checked, things like that. And the process just isn't there for this company, and it's long term. It's not good news because it's not something you can implement on the fly. It takes time, right? And if from the beginning you didn't implement it, then you have problems like this over and over again. Unnecessary self-inflicted wounds. Why? Because anybody can take a clip of this and just put it up there 100 times, and whether it's fair or not, it doesn't matter. At the end, it's public perception that you could avoid it by having somebody just do their job correctly. But here we are. Is it going to be the last time that happens? Probably not, because I don't see them changing this culture in the company anytime soon. But we wish them well. It's going to produce more content for a lot of people if they don't quit it. But whatever. Not every not all publicity is good publicity, right? But at least it keeps people talking about the system. But that's what I can say about the presentation. I'm glad that they stepped up their presentation, that they have a actual semi-kiosk, let's call them, to put the consoles out there. It just looks more professional. Then I want to comment on the video that they made as far as the new offices. Now, let me say a couple of things here, okay? The company culture is already set. It looks like it's set to the owner's preference, right? And I want to go back to an interview they had with Kobe Bryant one time. And Kobe Bryant was just very curt answering questions. And the Lakers were up 2-0, right? And when the reporters asked Kobe, how come you're not smiling? Why are you not happy? Why are you not celebrating? And he's like, is the job done? No, then there's nothing to celebrate about. There's nothing to be happy about. The job isn't done, right? And when you look at the culture of the company, you can see people having a great time who have not performed. Now, am I saying that these people should be whipped to death for not doing their job? No. But does anybody that you saw in any of the videos that they ever presented in this company, do they look like they're stressed about failing 3 times? Do they look like they're in any sort of pressure cooker because they're not doing things right? And that has to do with culture, right? That's a choice that you make as a company. There's companies, for example, let's name the big ones, right? Not financial advice, by the way, but let's just say, let's look at companies that are the big ones. Would it Take-Two, EA, whatever company you consider that has microtransactions, this and that and the other. And you want to walk away from that. I get it. But these companies are effective, right? There's a reason why their stock prices are so high, because they meet expectations within reason. Not every game is great, right? But they have a bottom line that they have to meet. Whether you or I like it, it doesn't matter. At the end, they figure out how to make a return for their investors. They do. Because people entrust them with their money by buying their stock, and they have to give money back to the investors, in value, right? So they prioritize that. Am I saying that's the best way to go? For investors, it is. If you're just an artist, then it's great, right? If you talk to anybody that's working there, since they don't have to produce anything on a deadline, obviously, then it's very comfortable working there. It's a great job, right? You can miss deadlines left and right, and you can still have a comfortable work environment. But for the rest of us, and just take it by experience, guys, I mean, when have you ever missed deadlines at a job over and over and over again and be that laxed at the office? You can't. But if you're an employee there, it's a great place to work. I don't deny that, right? And it looks like people are happy, but that's where the bulk of the investment is going for the investors. If you're an investor, that's not what you want to see. Let me put it to you that way. Again, not financial advice.
Okay, guys, let's say for the sake of argument that the hardware has everything to do with the chip shortage, okay? Just for the sake of argument, let's not argue semantics here or there. Okay, but that's not the same case for the software. The software is behind schedule for reasons that we don't know. I don't know them, and even the most fervent Amico supporter or Tommy fan ignores them also, okay? But they are behind schedule. Whatever you might think of the hardware, that has nothing to do with the software. Software development is behind schedule by more than it should have been at this point in the company's run so far. And I dare you, of all the professional programmers that I've spoken to, none of them can give me a good reason why these games are so late, being the type of games they are. Okay? And for any fervent Amico supporter out there, Go out there and find 5 programmers that would agree with the notion that the only reason these games are late is the pandemic. You're not going to find them, because these games should be done, especially the simpler games that don't use motion controls should be complete, and they're not. So there's information that we don't have, but please stop saying it's the pandemic, because there's no professional out there that would accept that as a good excuse for these type of games.
If I'm investing money, which I'm not in this company, I would like to see a more, chain of command type structure where people are delivering products in time. You saw a gameplay being there, a gameplay that, why is that game there?
Of all the games we want to see, Space Strikers is not one of them. For the majority of Intellivision fans, we want to see the legacy games. We want to see the retro reimagined. Every time I see this game and I don't see Cloudy Mountain or Night Stalker or any of the games that we were excited for, it just to me it's just another mistake on wasting resources on things that are not going to make you as much money as with the legacy games. Some of the things you just don't understand it. And where are our games? I can tell you, the true Intellivision fans, they're not really excited for Space Strikers. Nobody really cares about this game, not as much as they do for Night Stalker, or for Cloudy Mountain. That's what we want. We don't want to see clips of this again. It's just not a very, very exciting game for most of us. Is it co-op? Yeah, whatever. But this is more like a pack-in game or a side game. We want to see the exciting stuff. The stuff we were promised when the console was first announced. We're still waiting for that stuff. And it's just frustrating.
So those are the things from just looking at the corporate type setting that they were showing there and all that. Again, guys, if you are ever bothered to the point of sadness by me criticizing a corporation and their structure because you identify too much with any particular company and you're over 30, I would call your maturity into question. I would do some self-reflection here, okay? I'm criticizing the organization, number one. I'm criticizing their setup as opposed to, other setups, right? Just comparing companies. Does that mean they're evil people? No. Does that mean that they're not going to be as successful as other companies? Probably. So that's just, what I see, going forward with this company. Does that mean that they're not going to produce any consoles? No, as a matter of fact. Here's a great news for game hoarders like myself. Now, I find myself in the unique position that I don't see anybody express is that the culture of the company is not great for producing things on time, okay? And it's not great for delivering what they say they're going to deliver, okay? It's not professional at that level, okay? But what it does do, okay, it presents a great opportunity for game collectors. Why? Because the steps this company's taking and the way it's taking them, they're not the best to lead to long-term success, number one, because they've chosen a path that they're going to do things and they're just going to keep on doing them that way, okay? And that's their choice. It's their money to burn and their investors' money to lose or make money with, whatever. 10x? No. Not with this structure. Okay, not any company that I've seen has ever 10x'd not delivering shit. You know what I'm saying? But things that are collectible are rare, right? And they're significant and they're memorable. And if anything, the Amico has been the console of the pandemic, right? All of us, if you're watching my channel, if you're part of the detractor community, if you're part of the Tommy fan or whatever, of the pandemic and video games, this is probably what you're going to remember the most. You're not going to remember the shortages of the Xbox or the PS5 or anything else. You're going to remember this right here. And for that reason, and scarcity is going to make this console and these games very, very collectible, in my opinion. Okay? And when they said that they have 48,000 games there, that's actually a great number because you have 6,000 pre-orders last time I checked. So that's about, what, 8 games per console? That seems about right.
Now, let me say, guys, the people that have been holding on to their pre-orders, like myself, are avid Intellivision fans. And for that reason, they're more likely than not to buy all 8 games. And I think that's the boat that we're all in. So whoever is thinking about getting these games, these first batch of games at a retail store, might not even get the chance. Because, you know, there's a fervent base of Amico purchasers that want all the physical media. As well they should. And if they get first crack at it, you're looking at 48,000 games that are going to be some of the most collectible items of this decade. So if you're a game collector, a game hoarder, whatever you want to call yourself, but if you want to, you know, buy something that is going to be worth more money in the future, in my humble opinion, again, not financial advice, this is it. If anything is going to be making money, is this first set of consoles and the first batch of games. If you don't think these are going to be collectible, then you probably don't like money. This has nothing to do whether you like Tommy or not, whether you like the company or not. These are just facts. Things that are rare are valuable. And these games, in the whole scheme of things, this first batch is going to be rare.
And they testify they exist. If you get your hand on those, even if you don't get the console, if you just get those games, you're going to make money. I don't see how you don't. And that's the way I see it, man. I could just tell you what my opinion is based on my experience. I might be right, I might be wrong, right? People are right and wrong all the time. But remember, whether you think you're right or wrong, there's one truth that is always, always constant. Everybody is full of crap.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.